Yowie wowie. I mean, if some of you are even still subscribed or remember my videos, I have not done one in just over 3 years. I went back last night and was just kind of looking at some of the old videos I did, and I kind of let my tank go into complete disarray for a while, and after looking at it, I thought it was funny how much is the same, but also how much it's changed. I got a lot of similar looking fish, but I have no fish in this tank that you saw in my previous videos. Like I said, it's been 3 years. It's been a long time. I had a couple crashes. Stuff died. I got rid of stuff. These things happen. But yeah, let's take a look around. So I have a lot of fake plants in here now. I don't remember if I had fake plants in previous videos. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I had real plants, and I still have some real plants, you know. They're maybe not looking the best, but most real plants, you know, cichlids trash. They look nice for a few weeks, a month, then they eat them, and that's that. But anyways, these guys are all so active right now because they're sure they're getting fed, even though, I mean, look how fat some of them are. I just fed them. Like, they don't need fed again right now. But if you remember last time in my previous videos, I had giant danios. I don't have giant danios anymore. Now I have Australian rainbows. And I like them kind of equally. I think giant danios are kind of underrated because in a fish store, well, I think Australian rainbows are underrated too. Fish stores, they look really washed out. They kind of just look like a kind of, these rainbows kind of look like just like a white yellow fish. And maybe the light on my phone isn't getting it, but some of them, there's blues in there, there's red in their fins. And it's the same with danios. You get blues and turquoise and orange swirls and stuff all through them. But yeah, I want to do Australian rainbows, so that's what I got going on now. They're very similar to danios. They get fairly big. They school. They're fairly peaceful. They bicker among themselves. I like them. Just thought it would be a different change. I know this whole background. I'm gonna do a water change tomorrow. I need to just get my sponge in there and wipe all that off. I have a new light. It's an LED light. I'm not gonna get. It's pretty bright, and it creates algae on the daily. Like, it's a strong light. That's why there's so much algae on these plants and stuff too. It's not. I don't have my chemicals, my balance going on as my cats run by like maniacs. Anyways, so I'm not throwing this out there as any kind of promotion or anything, but every fish I have in this tank I got from PetSmart. And I know that's going to drive some people crazy. They're immediately going to just be like, oh, what? PetSmart, they only sell crap. You're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Look, I worked at PetSmart. I know. But if you know what to look for and which, let's say PetSmart or Petco or any other big box store to go to, some people actually do know what they're doing at those stores. And they do know how to get good fish. And they do know how to acclimate them. And Yeah, these are all PetSmart fish. I did not. The most expensive fish in here, I think, is my peacock eel, wherever he is. He's hiding down in there somewhere, and I think he was $12. These cichlids were all from $7 to $10. Look at him. Look at this tank. My rainbows were all like $2.50. I think at one point they were on sale. When you buy 3 or 4, get one something, and they were under $2 a piece. There's the eel. So everything besides, okay, so all the cichlids I have in here are peacocks and haps. Like I have a red empress right there. Red empress is a hap. I have the electric blue. Where's my finger? He's a hap. The only cichlid I have in here that isn't from Africa, I have a little right there. Right there. I have a ram. Blue ram. So here's the funny story about that. My sister-in-law was on not like a SWIP swap, but one of those type of sites. And someone that lived just down the street from her had posted on there like, we just moved into this house and we went into the garage and there's a bucket full of water with like 12 fish in here. We don't have an aquarium. We called the people we bought the house from. They said, oh, just keep them. They're like, we don't have an aquarium. We don't have anything to do with them. Will someone please come get these fish? My sister-in-law has a 10-gallon tank she had a couple goldfish in it. So she went and picked them up, for free. She didn't want them to die. And then she was trying to Google what the fish were and stuff. And then she was sending texts to my girlfriend of pictures of the fish, and she knew what most of them were. She woke me up for a couple of them, and she's like, what's this? I'm like, it's a ram. She's like, will it be all right with some goldfish and some guppies and stuff in this 10-gallon that doesn't have a heater? And I'm like, rams like their water in the 80s, and a lot of them, they're a little more advanced than, say, like you're throwing a guppy or a platy in a 10-gallon tank. So she gave it to me, and I didn't really have anywhere to put it because if you remember, I kind of had a fish room at some point. I don't now at all. It's not gone. All my tanks are empty and stuff in it. We're painting the whole walls. I'm building stands and everything. I'm gonna set it all up, and hopefully it'll be ready by like mid-January, like for real this time. Even though I've been saying that for like 3 or 4 years. But anyways, so she gave it to me, and I was like, I have nowhere to put it. And I'm like, well, my peacocks and a couple of my haps. Oh, and I have a Victorian right there. I have a zebra oblique or whatever, oblique den. I don't know. You tell me how you say it. But anyways, it's a Victorian. It's an African cichlid, Lake Victoria. They usually kind of don't bother other fish that don't look like them. Even my rainbows, they don't care. So I cranked my tank up to 82 because I know cichlids and rainbows can handle that just fine. I feed them enough that the higher you crank your temperature, the more you have to feed them, because the quicker they digest food. But so I just threw that ram right in here and hoped for the best, and it gets along just fine. It swims around with everybody else. I've even seen it chasing some of my peacocks once in a while when they get a little bit too close. And it's doing great. Because I was originally going to put it in its own little tank. I was worried about the water quality and stuff. But it's probably a PetSmart ram. I'm sure it was bred in captivity. It was bred in tap water. There it is right there. It eats flake, you know, it eats my freeze-dried food, it eats my frozen foods, but it eats flake just fine. And it seems perfectly happy in here. So I'm just going to keep it in here. But yeah, other than that, not a lot has changed. Fake plants. Don't have any of my plecos anymore. A lot of stuff is coming. Well, everything is come and gone. Everything is new. Even though a lot of these fish are the same fish. This time I think I'm at about capacity. I think I kind of overcrowded it, or tried to overcrowd it last time. And just wasn't working. I think this time at most I maybe try and throw 3 more cichlids in here. And that's that. And I think I'm going to have to take the peacock eel out, put him in his own tank. He's not eating anything I feed him. So I think I'm going to have to feed him live. But I can't let all the other fish eat all of his food before he even gets a chance to get to it. So that's what I'm going to do. I think he's going to maybe be an only fish, or maybe be a fish with some other very slow, not aggressive eaters. Oh my god, I just got the hiccups. I'm like almost done with this video, and all of a sudden my body decides like, hey, let's start hiccuping. Anyways, oh, good lord. So this is just an update after so long. When I get my fish room together, I'll do an update on that and show you that whole, hopefully, sweet setup. But thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you later.